Hi, in this video we are going to see how Mempool works behind the scene. So let's start. So this is our blockchain network, okay? So this is our blockchain network and the systems that you're seeing here, right? So we are assuming that these systems, these computers that you're seeing on your screen are basically miners. And these people that you're seeing in black color, these people are basically representing nodes, okay? So these are the people who are not doing any kind of mining. These are people who are just here connected to this blockchain network in order to do some transaction. Let's say this person wants to send some bitcoin to this person, so that's why he need to connect it to this blockchain network, okay? And in the same way, let's say these nodes also help in verification and validation of a block. So let's say if a block will be created, so these nodes basically can validate and verify a particular block. Now let me tell you one thing more, that there is no like any specific speciality or difference between a node and a miner. Basically, a miner is actually a node only, okay? So this is a node only who has actually opted for mining. So these people can also opt for mining. So do not just think that these two people are basically two different kind of a people. They are same, just the thing is that this node has opted for mining, and these nodes that you're seeing in black color, they have not opted for mining, okay? Okay. Now, as we have discussed in our last video, right, that mempool is an area where we store all our unconfirmed transaction. So let's say if this person is doing some transaction, that transaction will go to mempool and miners will pick transaction from that mempool. And I have discussed this in great detail. If you haven't watched the previous video, please watch that video and then only continue with this video. Okay. Now, many of you might think that when I'm saying that mempool is an area where all unconfirmed transactions go, you might think that mempool is a centralized database. But that's not the case. Mempool is not a centralized database. Mempool is something which is associated with each and every node. So this mempool is also with the miners. This mempool is also associated with these nodes. Means these nodes, these miners has this area. So whenever you convert into node, so your system will be working as a database. You can think like your system is a database, not your system is a storage, and in that storage, this mempool will be stored. So each and every person who is connected to this blockchain network will consist of this mempool. Okay. So if you want to have a mempool of your own, means not of your own actually, a mempool like this. So you just need to be you need to install a software called a Bitcoin client. And once you will install this software, you can also become a node. And then you will also have a mempool in your system. Okay. In your node. Okay. That's good. Now let's say this person that you are seeing here, this node, wants to do some kind of a transaction. So let's say this is our transaction ID and he did some kind of a transaction DF123. Now this information will be conveyed to the connected participants or the connected nodes. Now, one thing important to note here is that you can clearly see that this transaction is at this point of time is an unconfirmed transaction. So until or unless this transaction will not be verified and validated by the miner and will go to a block, this transaction will come under the category of unconfirmed transaction. And this is a mempool. This green area that you are seeing on your screen is a mempool. Now, this information will be conveyed to the, as I said, to the uh, nearby nodes. Now, once this information will be conveyed to the nearby nodes, this transaction will also be added to their mempool. And the same way, this information will be transferred to the remaining other nodes that are connected to this blockchain network. And by this, you clearly see that these transactions will be a part of each and every mempool. Okay. So any miner can pick these transactions from his mempool and he will be able to then start mining. Okay. Now let's say this is also one of the person who wants to do some kind of transaction. So let's say she did a transaction of ABC56 and this transaction will again be added to the nearby nodes. So this information will travel to the nearby nodes, and from the those this information will travel to the other nearby nodes, and this way you can clearly see that all these transactions be added to the mempool. And by this only, this mempool uh, will be filled with all the transactions. Now, currently, what I'm showing to you on the screen is only four transactions here, right? But that's not the case. Your mempool can consist of thousands of transactions, but definitely I cannot illustrate that here. That's why I'm just showing you four transactions. Okay, so this makes sense, I hope. Now let us understand. So this is a process where we have seen that how an unconfirmed transaction goes to the mempool. Now let us understand how this unconfirmed transaction is taken from the miners, means how miners take these transactions from the mempool and create a block with this. So let's say, uh, definitely since this is a blockchain network, so each of the nodes will have a blockchain, right? Exact copy of the blockchain. I have discussed in the starting lecture, right? That blockchain is a distributed immutable ledger. And as we know that people are miners, so they will start mining for the Bitcoin. Now let's say this miner was the first miner who was able to solve this mining problem. Okay, he was able to solve this mining problem, and that's how he was able to create a block. And since he has now the capability to create this block, he can add these transactions to this block. Okay. Now once he will add these transactions to this block, he will convey this information to the nodes, to the nearby miners, that okay, I have created this block and I have I have used this, like I have put these transaction into my block. Please confirm, please verify and validate my block whether it is correct or not. Now these nodes will start verifying and validating these blocks, and once they will verify and validate and say that okay, this block created by this miner is a correct block, they will add this block to their blockchain. So you can clearly see that, so this information has traveled to this and this person, and that's why they have added this block to their blockchain. And once they will add this block to their blockchain, these transactions will also move from this unconfirmed category to the confirmed category, because now a block is created and any transaction within the block is a confirmed transaction. Now this information again will be conveyed to the remaining nodes. They will also create a block, will also take the remaining the transaction from this mempool, and they will add it to their block. And in the same way, others will also do. And this is how you can clearly see that transactions are taken from this mempool area to the blockchain area. Okay, so transactions are getting like these unconfirmed transaction which belongs to mempool are now becoming confirmed transaction once they are a part of this block of the blockchain. And this is how mempool works. But let me show you mempool in real life also. So how does mempool looks like? So this is our blockchain.com unconfirmed like website, and I have chosen this unconfirmed transaction, and now you can clearly see that this is how mempool looks like. So what they are doing is they also this company blockchain.com is running a node, and now they're displaying the data on our screen. So they you can clearly see that each and every time one of the transaction is being added to this mempool, and all these transactions are basically unconfirmed transaction, and this place is nothing but this place is a mempool. Now from this unconfirmed transactions only, miners will pick some of these transactions and will add to the block of the blockchain. And once they will verify and validate those block, means from the other participants of that blockchain node, once they will verify and validate this block, then these transaction will become a confirmed transaction. So I hope this makes sense. Do check out this website. This is a great website if you are looking for some practical insight about Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of the you know like blockchain. So mainly I think they deal with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then Bitcoin Cash and all those things. But still, I will definitely suggest you to do come and visit this website. So I hope you like this video. If you have liked this video, please click on that like button. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, because I'm regularly about new blockchain courses on this channel. If you want to talk to me directly, you can connect with me on Instagram. I'm available there, and you can also join our blockchain developer community. That link is given in the description. You can join the Discord link, and you can be a part of our blockchain developer community, where we have 2000 plus blockchain community members. If you have any doubts or queries, please comment your doubts and queries below of this video in the comment section of this video. I will be happy to solve your doubts. Meet you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.